Hey there, Clashers, welcome back. So we're back with another one of the Let's Play videos, Town Hall 7, and we are going to take a look at some Dark Elixir farming. So let's take a look here, and once you're pretty much done with your Elixir farming, you can move on to Dark Elixir and get that taken care of. So that's going to be your other more important thing. But the big thing with being finished with your Elixir is that it opens up your options for farming. Basically because you don't need to worry about how much elixir you're actually spending in the armies, so you can spend more elixir, use stronger armies, and then push up higher into the leagues. Right now we're still sitting at Silver 1, but you can push well into Crystal, maybe even, well, maybe not Masters, but definitely within Crystal with Dragons. First we're going to take a look at another army. This is actually something I forgot to mention in the last video we did for Town Hall 7 farming, and this is the Balloons and Minions. They call it Balloonion, so that is the composition I have here. I usually take a dragon in the CC, but it's not entirely necessary to take a CC if you can't get one. Sometimes I'll do the hit without the CC, or without the king if the king is sleeping as well. So we'll look at my quick train real quick, and you can see the Lunion is 153,000, so it's a little bit expensive on the elixir. The other armies are obviously a lot cheaper. This army does have spells. It can be used without spells, but it's a lot less effective, and it does have the cost of 100 Dark Elixir, which isn't bad at all. Once you do upgrade your minions, that Dark Elixir cost is going to go up a little bit, but again, it's not going to be too bad. So if you want to use this for farming Dark Elixir or regular elixir, it works fine for either one. And we'll take a look at a couple different ways I like to use this army. So we're going to look at some of these replays because I can do them quickly. So let's watch this one. This is one of the best ways to use this army, is to target the resources around the edge. You put down the balloons, and then you put the minions in behind, and basically the balloons are going to take out defenses, and they're going to tank for the minions, while the minions collect the resources in those collectors. So that's basically what you're targeting with this style of deployment, is you're looking for those full collectors on the outside. You want to get those outer defenses taken down, and then you can use the minions to pick off whatever's left. And that's what I did with this one. I was able to push all the way through. Of course, I did have max balloons and my king as well. So pretty strong army here, pushed all the way through this base, got all the resources. But even if I didn't triple the base, I still would have gotten all of the resources from around the outside. And this is the other method of deployment for this army. So I did check for CC troops. I've got a dragon to deal with. Not a problem. I've got a dragon in my CC, and that's what I'm going to use to take down this dragon. Now, if you're taking on a dragon and you don't have something in your clan castle that can deal with it, you can deal with it using your minions, but don't drop all your minions in one spot, because the dragon does do splash damage, which means it can do damage to all the minions that are sitting in one spot. So you want to kind of circle the dragon around and make sure that he's actually got a move to hit the other minions. But with this deployment of Lunion, I'm going to hit the base from just one side only instead of trying to pick off from around the outside edge. And the purpose of this style is to basically get deeper penetration into the base. So if you're looking to get collectors that are inside the middle of the base, or if you're looking to hit a storage that's in the middle of the base, this is the best way to deploy this army to get the storages or whatever happens to be deeper in the base. Now you'll see I'm not going to get the triple on this one, but I am going to push pretty well into the base, and I do believe I get pretty much all of the resources. I think I do get all of the resources. My dragon's going to wrap up there, minions are going down. So yeah, I got a good chunk of that, got pretty well into the base. Pretty close to being a triple. If there wasn't a dragon CC, it probably would have been as well. Now you don't want to worry too much, like I've mentioned before, about stars or trophies or whatever. When you're farming, the only thing that really matters is how much loot you're getting out of your hits. If you need to lose attacks to get your loot, then that's what you should do. So we'll do one more Lunion attack, and then we're going to take a look at dragons, which is my favorite way to farm for Dark Elixir at Town Hall 7. Alright, so we found a base here. This isn't bad for this level. Got about 500 Dark Elixir. We are going to prioritize the Dark Elixir. And we've also got about 200,000 of the Elixir and Gold. So since the Dark Elixir is a priority, first thing we're going to go for is that drill over here. So we're going to drop in a few balloons like that. And I'm dropping some minions behind. Hopefully I put enough balloons here to take out that air defense. We'll put that king on that sweeper, so that's not going to be a problem. Although it already has been a little bit of a problem. Okay, so we're gonna need... let's just drop the dragon in right there. And then we'll put in a couple of minions to help push him the right way. Okay, so the dragon's going to get that drill taken care of. Next, we're going to do some balloons, and they will be supported with a rage spell. So there we go. Because we need to save as many minions as we can at this point. I spent too many on that drill earlier. Okay, so there we go. That archer tower is going to be a problem. Go ahead and drop another rage right there. And 3 more balloons. And we will heal that group. Alright, so we got plenty of minions over here. All of those defenses are down. I'll start putting them in just a couple at a time around the outside. And it looks like the balloons are going to be able to push through all of the defenses on this base. So not a problem. And that's going to be that. So I will speed up the rest of this, and then we will get moving on the dragons. Alright, the dragons are ready to roll. Let's take a look at a few attacks and what the basic strategy is for farming Dark Elixir with these guys. Alright, so we found a decent base here. The minimum I usually look for at this lower trophy level is like 500 or 600, but obviously this one is well above that. We've got 1700 Dark Elixir, and we are going to use these dragons to push in and get it taken out. First of all, we want to look at the drills, see where they're at, and see how full they are. You can tell by the little box on the back of the drill how much Dark Elixir is actually in the drill. So we are going to set the king here, and he's going to collect out of that drill. Now we can focus on the dragons. We see the sweepers here, and we see the Dark Elixir storage is here, and we also see another drill right there. So what we're going to do is rage some balloons into here. This is going to take out the air defense and break off that corner for the funnel. And then we're going to put in a couple of dragons and start the funnel on the other side. And then the rest of the dragons are all going to go in between those 2 funneling spots. So I've done a funneling video in the past. It's actually incredibly important to be able to funnel your troops properly. I will probably do another funneling video at some point because a lot has changed since I've done that video. That was a while ago. We'll go ahead and drop a rage. Just going to push those dragons into that air defense, get it taken down quickly, and then we can get these guys into the core of the base and going after that Dark Elixir that we're here for. Alright, so the storages are going down. This group of dragons will get the rage spell so they can push through the storage and get to that last air defense. Now we're not necessarily concerned about getting the triple, but the more trophies we can get with this attack, the better. Because when you're farming Dark Elixir, it's better to be in higher trophies. That's why we're using dragons. The dragons are naturally going to help us push up in leagues, and they're also going to give us the best hit on the base to get the most out of it. So you can see we've gotten all of the Dark Elixir off this base, a little over 1700, so that was a great pull, and we will skip ahead to the next one. Alright, so the next army's ready to go. Let's see what we can find. So we hit 700 right off the bat. We're going to go ahead and see what the other bases look like. Maybe we're going to raise that minimum that we expect. Alright, so a couple more button hits and we came across this. It seems like the minimum could be 800 to 1000, depending on how long you want to search. But it's only taking me a couple of minutes to find these bases that are well over 1000 Dark Elixir. So we have an interesting base here. Town Hall is way up at the top for whatever reason. Town Hall sniping is not a thing anymore, but we want to look for the sweeper. We want to see which way that's pointing, so it's pointed that way. And obviously it looks like the Dark Elixir is all in the storage. So we're going to go ahead and drop the king up here at the top. We're going to start the funnel with a dragon here, and then a dragon there. Nothing is coming out of the CC, so we're good there. And then we're going to spread the dragons out fairly well along this side behind the sweeper and send in the balloons behind them and then rage them through the base. We want them to get some of the buildings down before we get them going so that we have the funnel. So we do have a Tesla over here. We're going to drop one more dragon there. Make sure the dragons over there are funneled. And let's go ahead and send in the rest of the dragons, and then the balloons. Alright, they're moving into the base. It looks like the king's done with the town hall. We're going to drop a rage there and a rage there. Alright, so we got the balloons moving in. That's an important thing there. That's going to get those air defenses taken down. So it looks like we got 2 of the air defenses down. Now we want to watch where the dragons are heading. Alright, so we have a couple of dragons breaking off this way. We want to try and get them to these defenses over here. Otherwise, they're going to protect that storage. Alright, so that dragon is going to go up, get that archer tower down, but it is not going to go to the air defense. However, it looks like we will get that storage down. So yeah, I've got a full health dragon on the storage. It's going to go down. And we got all the Dark Elixir off the base. So that is the goal. And it looks like we will not get the triple here because of that air defense here. But that's fine. I mean, I got the 2-star. I got all the Dark Elixir. We can take this and be happy with it. So we will let the clock run out, see if it's a triple, and then move on to maybe 1 or 2 more of these attacks. Okay, we're going to go into one last attack here for this video, and this time we're going to go with no clan castle troops. I realize most people don't have access to the max troops that I'm using in the CC, and a lot of people actually don't have access to CC troops for every time they do farming attacks. So we will do an attack here with no CC and see how it plays out, show you guys any tricks to do things maybe a little bit differently. Let's go see what we can find. Okay, so we found a decent base here, and there's a drill up at the top. It is a low level, but it is also full, so there's probably at least a little bit of Dark Elixir up there. The most of the Dark Elixir is in the storage though, and that's where we're going to focus. So we're going to start off with the king. We'll send him on the camp right there. He's going to work through the camp and then work over here and start getting a funnel established. He's only level 2 though, so I'm not quite sure exactly how far he's going to be able to make it in. We're going to start a dragon or 2. Let's go ahead and do 2 on this side and get that funnel going as well. Alright, so the king's working over here, getting that funnel done. We'll let him work through that. Alright, perfect. So the camp's going to go down. Let's go ahead and start the rest of the dragons here. And we're heading in behind this air sweeper, so that's the key here. Let's go ahead and drop the first rage spell, push them in, get that air defense down, and then we'll drop another rage spell overlapping that to push them through those storages and the town hall. So the dragons are starting to split off a bit, so we'll drop the rage spell there. That'll push those dragons through the Dark Elixir storage, and then that rage there for the other storages, and to push through that last air defense. So if we can push through that, I also didn't see that Dark Elixir drill there, so we've got a little less than 5,000 Dark Elixir in the store, or in the collectors rather. We did get most of the Dark Elixir off the base already. Now we're just trying to collect from the outside edge. So without the CC troops, we did push through, got all the air defenses down. The only thing left to take out the dragons looks like 2 archer towers. Other than that though, there's nothing left to stop them. So they are going to push through for the triple, and we will see them pick up all of the Dark Elixir. And there we have it, a little over 1,400 Dark Elixir, no CC troops, just smashing right on through. Now as you go up, the bases do get a little more difficult. You'll probably be hitting like max Town Hall 8, something like that. You might even be hitting some Town Hall 9s. If you want to go ahead and go for those bases, just make sure you're going in, try to go behind the sweeper, but go in as close to where the Dark Elixir is as possible. And if you have to leave some behind, either in the drills or in the storage, just go for whichever one seems to have more in it. And it's almost always going to be in the storage unless you're hitting a dead base, then it's going to be mostly in the drills. And the higher level drills can actually hold quite a bit of Dark Elixir, so don't let those fool you. And dragons is how I farm all of the Dark Elixir on my Town Hall 7s, 8s, and sometimes on my Town Hall 9s as well. Of course, we'll get to those later Town Hall levels later on, but this is a good farming strategy to use once your elixir's done. Now, I'm not quite 100% done. I like to have my elixir stuff done in the lab. You can see I've got a boost going right now, so the numbers are crazy. I do have, it looks like wizards, wall breakers, so a few small things and a couple of spells left in elixir. But you are going to actually pick up quite a bit of elixir with this army composition, even though it costs 172,000. You'll still come away with some profit, and that's enough to keep your laboratory going. The biggest thing, obviously, is getting your king upgraded. You want to get your dark troops upgraded, and then later on we can take a look at hog raiders. So that brings me to basically the conclusion of this video and what we're going to take a look at for the rest of Town Hall 7. We will take a look at war attacks. We're going to take a look at how to use dragons in war, so it'll be just a little bit different. I do have another maxed out Town Hall 7 to hit friendly challenges with, and we're also doing some wars here, so we should have some actual war attacks this time around. We're going to look at dragons. Like I said, it'll be very similar to what we did here, but maybe some tweaks. I might even throw in some lower level CC troops just to have some example of that. And then we're going to look at hog raiders at Town Hall 7. So one of my favorite troops, we're finally going to get into that. They're okay, but they're still usable, and we will see how to do that, how to practice it. It's a good spot in the game to start learning that specific attack strategy. So that's that. We will take a look at those war attacks. We'll take a look at some war bases for Town Hall 7. And then I think that's going to be a wrap. We're going to move into Town Hall 8. And then I was asked about the builder base. We will get into that as well once we cross over into the Town Hall 8 stuff. So we will start looking into that later. We're going to wrap up Town Hall 7 here very shortly. Maybe a couple more days. So a couple more... less than a week, I would say, of videos. Wrap up Town Hall 7, get into Town Hall 8, and then try to get through that quickly to get into Town Hall 9, because that's when the real grind of the game begins, and that might take a little bit more time. It's not as long now as it used to be because they just reduced the training times, or the upgrade times, quite a bit for heroes and the upgrade cost, so that's a good thing. That'll help us push through, because you got a lot of hero levels to get through at Town Hall 9, and that's not a spot where you want to rush. You want to go into Town Hall 10 pretty much from a max Town Hall 9, otherwise it's going to be fairly difficult. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to give that thumbs up, and if you want to see more Clash content from me, be sure to click that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.